we're going to, see if I get the nod from Kevin. All right, great. All right, I'd like to call the June meeting of the Edison Public Library Board to order at 7:03 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
As required by the Open Public Meetings Act and NJSA 10:4-1, adequate notice of this meeting has been provided to the public by notices given to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, News Indian Times, posted on the Edison Public Library website and bulletin board, and given to the Township's clerk. Mr. Kleiman, please roll call.
Mr. Errico, I think he's excused. He's has a Board of Ed event this evening. Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Here.
Ms. Patel.
Here.
Mr. Patel, I've not heard from yet. Dr. Shen?
Here.
Ms. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale?
Yes. Okay. All right, so we're going to move on to approving the minutes. Everybody?
Minutes of the Edison Township Free Public Library Board of May 12, 2026. Present, Anthony Di Pasquale, Pallavi Kabadi, Shalvanti Patel, Shreyans Patel, Chang Shen, Rinki Singh, Ralph Errico, Katrina Leary. Also present, Joseph Palambet, Board Attorney, Alan Kleiman, Library Director, Deborah, Assistant Director, and Sherry Ray's Administration. Mr. Di Pasquale called the meeting to order 7:01 p.m. He led the salute to the flag and read the Open Public Meetings Act statement. On motion and second, the regular session minutes of April 14, 2026 board meetings were approved. On motion and second, the closed session minutes of April 14, 2026 were approved. On motion and second, the bill list of May 12, 2026 was approved. On motion and second, the standing committee's amendment was approved. On motion and second, the public comment session was closed with unanimous consent. On motion and second, the board went into closed session at 7:27 p.m. and returned to open session at 7:53 p.m. On motion and second, resolutions to approve the resignation of employee 293509 effective May 8, 2026 and retirement of employee 010706 effective April 13, 2026 were approved. On motion and second, a resolution approving a contract with the lowest bidder for the Clara Barton Vestibule project for A+ glass and metal was approved. On motion and second, the meeting was adjourned by unanimous consent at 8:11 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I have a second? Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shalvanti Patel,
Yes.
Dr. Shen,
Yes.
Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay, can I have a motion for the closed session minutes?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shalvanti Patel,
Yes.
Dr. Shen,
Yes.
Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries on both.
Okay, we're going to move on to the financial report.
Okay. The financial reports, just a comment on the balance sheet ending May 31st, 2026. We have noted on the bottom that the North Edison branch grant is due of $1.5 million. Just as a reminder, we have already received the first payment of that, and it has been deposited, and that was for $375,000, and that's indicated on your encumbrance, and that we received 2 months ago. I have been in contact with the state library, and usually they would do a mid-project request for funds and a final request for funds. And they've told us that we can just do one piece. We already have our COO. We have all the paperwork we need. So we'll be working on that next week, getting all the paperwork to that. It goes to the architect to sign off on. The check, I would probably say we would see that check in about 2 months. The check is issued from the Treasury. It goes to the township first. The township deposits it. It gets on the township bill list to pay the library, and we get that check. So I would say about 2 months. So that's money we already use. We're fine with that. So we also renewed for 3 months our CD. So at the end of June, our new balance, instead of $812,318.77 in our 2 CDs, will be $824,105.64. Actually, the interest rate has gone up a little, believe it or not great, but it's gone up a little. So anything helps. We did that for 3 months because we're expecting to take ownership of the bookmobile either late summer or early fall. It's already being built for us. We're already working on the graphics. We started also to look at our capital projects for next year. We usually start about a year or 18 months in advance just to see what we need to work on. So we've already started working on 2027. We know that the things that we need to do in all the 3 branches. The bill list is, from our point of view, pretty standard. We have some bills as part of the North Edison branch. There is still one more final payment to PalPro that probably will show up on next month's bill list. But pretty much there's nothing here out of the ordinary that that I can see. Obviously, of course, I'm always open to questions if there are things on the bill list that any of the board members are not familiar with. And I pretty much looked at and shared with you our Edmonds report. We're doing okay for the end of 5th month of the year. There are some minuses here, and it's just how we do the accounting, particularly in the funding for the branches that we had to pay for the North Edison, and the final amount that we had to pay for the main library that had never been cleared. So basically, I would welcome any questions, comments, thoughts, and a approval of the bill list so we could move forward. Before I lose my voice.
Discussion? All right. Can I have a motion to approve the bill list?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Kabadi?
Yes.
Oh, I am gone. Ms. Leary?
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel?
Yes.
Dr. Shen?
Yes.
Ms. Singh?
Yes.
And Mr. Di Pasquale?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Move on to the library director's report, assistant library director's report.
Absolutely. So I sent the board members a copy of some of the things. Basically, I have been pretty much working out of the North Edison branch for the last month with Tyler, who is our head of buildings and grounds, making sure that everything was done in preparation for the opening. So the shelving is back, the furniture is back, all the books were put on the shelves. I'm going to say the place looks gorgeous. We have still a lot of furniture to buy, but it's the same thing there as we did in the main library. Now that everything's back, almost, we still have to bring over the temporary
building from the other branch. And once that gets set in, we really know what we need to do to get ready. We've basically been concentrating on some of the technology. We have internet already there, which we're very happy to have. And there's the alarm systems, the alarms, the cameras, all the internet is there, but the wiring and the computers are not back there. So all of that kind of technology thing that we're working on. We're also looking at, obviously, a new projection system. We're hoping to get one just like this so that staff would be able to know how to use it. It would be the same in both branches. Those are kind of the things that we're doing. There were some work that was not part of the scope of the contract. Some of the light fixtures around the entire outside of the building needed to be replaced. We're doing that. The landscaper was there. We got that started. So we cleaned the burn between us and the neighbors behind us. So with all of that thing just in preparation. In fact, most of us will be there tomorrow. We have a whole bunch of workmen there. We're also looking at, we already think we have someone for our first exhibit. We'd like to have someone in there for our opening so we'll have an exhibit in our exhibit space. The bookmobile, our big bookmobile bus is back after a couple of months waiting for repair with the new generator, mechanical issues. So that's back on the road this week. We're really excited. I mentioned that our new bookmobile is in process of being worked on, and we expect to get that at the end of the summer. I mentioned North Edison. We basically are just trying to get everything. None of what we're doing now will impede us from opening. These are all the little things that you just want to make sure get done. Clara Barton. The contract for the vestibule went through attorney review, and it's been signed. Our first construction meeting is scheduled next Thursday, and then we'll get an idea about the construction. Obviously, there needs to be permits, the whole bit. And as I mentioned, capital projects, we usually start them or look at starting them a year in advance. And so what we're looking at is, since we've already done a lot of work here in the main library, North Edison is in good shape. Bookmobile, the new bookmobile is what we'll be concentrating next year on upgrading Clara Barton. And we're really excited about that. The main library, when the main library was redesigned, the goal that we had and the most requested item that we had from our public was more space to work and study rooms. And so the first floor, which is the children's room, ended up being expanded. So we have much more room on the first floor than we have on the second floor. We have a lot of open space. We actually have too many shelves down there. We're going to concentrate them. We also, over the next 3 years, are looking to replace them. They're really too tall for a children's room, and we would have better sight lines and also would bring in much more light. And that's a kind of a 3-year capital plan. Each year, whatever money we have, we'll get new shelving. And we are looking at ways in which we can enhance the shelving up here, do shifting of the collections, tagging, and getting things ready so we have things for the end of the summer. So those are pretty much the branch stuff. A couple other things I just want to highlight. Through a Facebook post, you never know what happens on Facebook. Someone had posted a bookshelf at the St. Paul's Lutheran Church pantry, and someone suggested, and they do giveaways when people come to get food at the food pantry. They have books there that people can take. And so someone suggested, oh, have you thought about the library? They get all these gifts And so I got right on it, and we delivered our first box of books there, and we'll be doing that once a month. We're going to be reaching out to the other pantries, but we think this is the only one that actually has bookshelves. The others are the big one, Hands of Hope, usually roll up in a car and they give you the bag. So we'll have to meet with them and see whether we could put some books in the bag along with them, or we can do a separate bag. So we're going to be working on that the next couple of months, and I think it's really good for us. They was just really so appreciated. We've started a social media committee. Our next meeting will be next week, and we have about, I think, 6 or 7 staff who are really interested in volunteering in the different branches and helping in taking pictures, videos, and things for us to post on the platform. So we'll keep you apprised of that. I think that would be a good option for us. The Memorial Day Parade, as you know, was canceled, but we expect to be floating with the bookmobiles in the July 4th parade, so see us there. Michael and Mary brought the bookmobile to the Juneteenth event last Saturday at Edison Job Corps. Both of them reported a lot of interest in the library and also working more closely with us since they're just really down the block. We've had some of the students come over the years to get library cards, but they really would like to get everyone to have a library card. So we think we can work that out easily with them. Summer reading, as you know, summer reading is starting on July 20th with our kickoff. I would invite all of the trustees to let us know if they're available to help on that day. That we always get crowds. We're having them all in one day. I believe first is Maine, then it's Clara, and then it's North. If I have it here somewhere. So
June 20.
June 20th, yes. Yeah. And so that's also the last day that will be open at North. So it's kind of going to be a little nostalgic to be the last day that will be a temporary North. But it's been a pretty busy month for the staff. We continue to go out to the schools that ask us to visit. It's that time of the year, and we really find that it's the same teachers that ask us every year, back year after year after year. They know what the library does. They want to make sure what we're doing. So that's my report on behalf of the library and what we're all doing for the month of May. It's been pretty busy around here.
Awesome.
President's report, just looking forward to the library being very busy and a lot of visitors over the summer with all the programs happening, and I think it's going to be really a good summer for the library and the residents. So as I always say, I appreciate all the work that the staff, the administration, and the library board does to make this organization work well, because it works really, really well. You just look at the numbers here, it's just, I still keep on hearing people use the library, and it's like, yeah, total circulation is almost 35,000 for 1 month. So yeah, people still use the library. So come out, use the library, check out what we have here. All right, so.
If I could just say one other thing.
Yes.
Because we were closed last week, we just gave you today the Edison by the numbers. So this may be the last Edison by the numbers. I'm kind of not, I shouldn't say that. This should be the last one. Let's see if the main library beats out North Edison in circulation, because traditionally it's been the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
But people who have found this library have found this library. And we're really busy 7 days a week. So it should be interesting to see, maybe not in July, but August, when all the branches are up to full speed. It should be interested to see. We really think that North is going to take off like a skyrocket. So that's what people have been waiting for. So I just wanted to mention that.
All right, we did have the governance committee did meet about the strategic plan, and probably gonna report about that.
Yeah, minutes of the Strategic Planning Committee meeting on June 2nd, 2026. Present Anthony DePasquale, Alan Kleinman, Katrina Leary, Pallavi Kabadi. The committee went over 3 proposals presented for the strategic plan for the libraries going forward. And that's going to come up now. So thank you.
Okay. We are going to, actually, we're going to do new business after the closed session, so there's one change that we're going to make, just so everybody's aware. Liaison reports. Any of our Scott or Viral, anything you want to say?
Forward to
Or?
the opening of the North Edison Library. It'll be a wonderful event. Residents are very lucky in the town that they get this privilege. So thanks to everyone in the administration, to all the library board members, everyone, Mr. Kleiman and all your staff members put it together. We just can't wait for it to get started. So looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Likewise, I just want to add too, with all the 250 projects that have been going on, I want to thank again administration staff. I know you've been incredibly involved as well in just getting things going. I think we've had some really strong collaborations between the township and the library, and I think we just continue to build that relationship and continue to grow. And I'm really happy to see, just the involvement on both sides and the engagement. And so thank you all for.
Yeah,
Great
actually, I think this has been a good partnership because I think we've been called upon to help with a couple of other things. And I think sometimes there were some people who were new that didn't even know who we were. And it was great to be in the same room and everyone knows faces now. And we've already been called on to work with the township on a Juneteenth project as well. So I think it was a great way for us to get involved, and we would love to be more involved with things that the rec department does and the senior center does, and Minnie Beeville. The more we can do would be great.
Thank you.
Okay. We're going to move on to public comments. During the open portion of its meeting, the library board provides the public with an opportunity to offer comments regarding matters pertaining to the library. Pursuant to the provisions of the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-12, the board is entitled to permit, regulate, or prohibit public participation in its meetings. Each speaker will have a maximum of 4 minutes to speak and should limit comments to matters pertaining to the library. Speakers are asked to begin their remarks by stating their name and address. Speakers and members of the public should at all times maintain proper decorum and shall make their comments in a civil manner. Do we have any comments?
Sarah Nasser, Pleasant Avenue, Edison. I'm here as a resident as well as the president of the Friends of the Edison Public Library. So from the previous meeting that we had, I did have 2 follow-ups that I wanted to go through. Do you want me to just ask the questions or conversation or however? So has the community conversations for the main library and the North Library been scheduled? And do we have a game plan for reshelving the books that are still here at Maine, as well as a game plan to ensure that North continues with that? And great news on the social media committee. I've been asking for that for years now. So I'm grateful that that is going to be something that the library is taking the initiative to create, because Edison is the 5th largest town. So having our neighbors have these amazing social media presence that's coming through there. So if we can catch up, I would be grateful to participate with you and have the Friends support in any way that we can. So I'm excited to see what the library staff is going to come up with. And the summer reading program, as the Friends sponsors a portion of the prizes, we are so excited that this year is going to be bigger than any year before. So last year was the highest quantity of participants that we've ever had. So our goal is to beat it this year and beat it with the 250 initiative. So excited to see all these events that are going to be happening on June 20th and seeing hopefully all of you sign up on the summer reading program because each person counts through. So again, thank you to all of these new initiatives that we're doing, all these different events that are happening through there. I have been looking at all of the programming that has been coming through, and there are so many unique activities that are happening within all of these buildings. So a great call out to all of the folks that are putting that together. It's not just about the diversity that we have here, because like we did have like the AAPI programs, we did have like the Juneteenth programs and all these things, but there's also so many creative, crafty endeavors that are so fun and engaging with our public. So there's something for everyone to come into the library. It's not just about reading a book, it's about just enjoying the company of your neighbors, as well as just finding a quiet place to read if that's what you want to do. So looking forward to seeing more interesting projects and programs coming up.
Mr. Hyman, can you address the questions about?
If you can repeat the first couple of questions, because you're faced that way and I had trouble hearing.
The community conversations, do we have dates for the main library community conversation as well as the north? And then the second, okay,
We'll do one at a time if that helps.
yes, please.
That'll help me. So when we started the community conversations, we anticipated that we were going to do a strategic plan beginning of the year. And so we didn't do that. And so as part of any strategic plan, they do community conversations, they do focus groups, they do whatever. So that will be part of the consultant's role in having, and they probably will do Clara all over again. There will probably be several focus groups, and I can't remember without this, as well as some Zoom meetings. And it all depends on how we work with them, the availability. They do focus groups, they do conversation, which is the same as focus groups. Focus groups, conversation, they do stakeholder meetings, the usual things. Strategic plans are all done basically the same way. They'll do a survey. They'll do an in-library survey. They may do a phone survey, a random survey, of library users and non-library users. It's pretty standard in kind of the marketing research. So strategic plan starts with the marketing research, and that's what the community conversations were. We had started with Clara because there was so much interest over the years in Clara, and Clara was our least used branch. And so now what we see, we have a better pattern of all of our branches than we did even a year ago when we did that. So it'd be interesting to see these new community conversations because the demographics, particularly for this library, have totally done a 180. It is just very different than it was 1 year ago, 2 years ago, and especially 5 years ago. So everything, Edison's constantly changing. We are an immigrant community. So what we didn't even reach that community conversation, which we need to reach, are the cultural community groups that we didn't even have contacts with a year ago, and now we do. So there's a big change. So I think the consultant's going to start forever. I'll start it all over from the beginning. So we'll have this all over, and then we'll get the feedback. We'll really see what's going on. But myself, if I use Clara, what we learned from I'm working Clara 1 day a week. And we've had discussions with the staff. Clara is used, for example, in 4 different ways. Number one way is computers. People come there to use a computer or to print out. Number two, they come to study. They come to just sit there all day. They come to find a fireplace. Number three is they come to use the children's department downstairs. And number 4 is to come to a program. So what we want to do is have a better mix, for example, in Clara, so that we get a better balance between the 4. So that's not something that I even realized last year in the community conversation because I wasn't there every week and I didn't see the same people every week and I didn't see the patterns. So Clara certainly is changing. I mean, I was there, I guess, this week was very quiet because everyone was watching the Knicks game last night. But for example, last Monday, between 7 and 9, 3 new families came in to make library cards. So Clara's doing pretty okay. Clara's doing pretty okay. So the conversations will probably start all over again. You know, they're a year old now, so it's time to refresh.
What was the timeline for the consultant group to begin this?
Hmm?
What was the timeline for the consultant group to begin doing this for the 3 branches?
Well, the board hasn't voted on the consultant yet.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
Alright.
yes, sir.
And Sarah, what was the second question?
The reshelving, what was the timeline for the books that are still not shelved yet for Maine, and then game plan for North?
There is no game plan for North. Everything's shelved
Okay, so North,
because North Edison didn't lose any shelving. They gained space. So it's the same shelving, but it got spread out. So they didn't lose any shelving. So everything that was in storage is on the shelves. Now, now what they have to do is everything that is at 1907 gets shelved when they move back. And we made sure there's space for that. So there isn't an issue at North as there was
all
here.
of the boxes have been unpacked in the new North.
Yeah, there were probably about 400, 500 boxes.
That's amazing. And then what's the game plan for Maine?
Maine will be working as, I'm sorry if I thought I mentioned it in my plan. We'll be working on looking with our vendor to get more shelving for up here that doesn't destroy the space so that we can reshift and get the boxes up as soon as we can. So we work on a room at a time. What we don't want to do is make this library look like it's a book warehouse when that actually is not what is happening in this library. So, you know, every library has a different vibe. And this one too is very much a children's library. And all the libraries are like this. Anywhere from 60 to 70% of circulation now is children. The adults moved from what we used to think the bestseller folks, they all went online. They're all borrowing our books, ebooks. They're all busy people. They're not coming in. The traditional user even of the Times bestseller list, we get a couple of titles that we have a long holds list on, but we buy extra titles and they're on the shelves. So we're in the process. It's not about the quantity of books that are on the shelves. It's having the books that people want.
Understood.
And so we may have 50 boxes, but in that thing, there's stuff there that no one's coming in for anymore. The other thing is we are a consortium as part of 40 libraries with over 1 million volumes. In fact, probably 1.5 million between all of us. We all share collections. So the days in which we as libraries think we are an island doesn't exist anymore. We borrow thousands of books from other libraries in the 3 counties. They borrow thousands of books from us each year. That's kind of how the consortium works. So if something's not on our shelves, we have someone put a hold on it and they get it in a few days if it's sitting on someone else's shelf. So what we're trying to do is reprogram our collection based on use, not 5 years ago, but now. So this whole town, because we are such a immigrant population, we're getting a better handle on what people really want. And that really didn't come out the last strategic plan. We concentrated on buildings and we concentrated on programs, but we didn't concentrate on collection. But as this library moved forward, we're concentrating more on the collections that make it the library that people in the community want, not the library that the staff thinks we should have.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we're going. And we, you know, I'll give you an example. I'll use Clara because I'm really there every week now. Not only is the neighborhood changing, as you know, the neighborhood's definitely changing in our favor because people are coming in and getting library cards. But I was there on one evening, I had 3 people coming in for Spanish books. You know, when our staff goes out to Lindenau, which is our closest elementary school to here, it has a high Hispanic population. we don't have a lot of Spanish books in this library. So we are looking at trying to see who's in the neighborhood and how we can better serve them. So a lot of what we had was from the population 10 years ago. So, I always welcome everyone. And I should say, I've been exchanging some email with someone who wants a puzzle exchange. I thought you'd bring that up too. So we're looking at doing a puzzle exchange once we get North settled. So we people do email me with suggestions and ideas of what they like. And two board members emailed me with some questions about ant flow to see, and we're getting some numbers from them to see what it would cost us to have those. I know it's but we're changing. We're always changing. We're always moving, and we're trying to really be the library that the community wants.
One last question. With the social media committee that you have, considering right now the Edison Public Library pages are just posting about the programming that's happening through there, and the Friends pages are the ones that have been posting the funny stuff that's been coming through, so that we don't step on each other's toes in any way or form. Can we make sure that we're at least aware of anything that you're doing, so that again we're not repeating the same information or we're not doing the same reels or anything in that way, and it's collaborative versus two separate entities.
I think that's very doable, Michael, right?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, board members' comments? Oh, I'm sorry. Have a motion to close the public portion? Okay, everybody?
Aye.
Good. Library board member comments, questions? Anybody have anything they'd like to ask?
I have in
Sure.
continuation of what she was asking. First of all, thank you so much to the entire staff working so hard. We are almost nearing to open Edison North Library. Super good. My question is, you just mentioned we will be working with strategy planning committee, right? They will be focusing first on Clara Barton, or
I'm sorry.
so strategy planning committee, right? She just asked about a timeline.
So the board hasn't voted on the consultant yet.
Okay.
So that would be step one. Usually there is a strategic planning committee that's usually composed of library administration, library board members, members of the public, and staff. And so once the consultant gets started, I'm sure it's and that is the steering committee that works with the consultant. Consultants works with them to get the things rolling, to come up with names, for example, of who should we interview, who's a good stakeholder, what groups should we invite to meetings. So once the committee and the board president would be appointing members of the board for that committee. So I think you're sitting next to him. I would just go like that and say, if you would like to do that.
Yes, yes, I'll be happy. Okay, cool. Thank you. So once the committee gets all together and start working, I think it will take some time, few months, right?
It's usually anywhere from 6 to 9 months.
Correct.
We have asked them to get this completed for us for presentation at the December board meeting.
Okay.
So that when we go into 2027, and if it doesn't get finished December, it goes into January, it's okay. But somewhere around December or January, if they need 6 months, we'll determine whether when we get to that October, November, if we want to give them that extra month. And then they would make the public presentation and the board would adopt officially the strategic plan, hopefully either in December of 2026 this year, or in January of 2027.
Perfect. So my question is, in the meantime, do we have any program, partnership aligned for North Edison Library? Because it's not a bigger place, right? So until strategic planning committee gets.
Well, we still have our old strategic plan, which the board approved, which is in effect through December 2026. And we basically have been working through that for the last 4 years. I can share with you the longer version. I don't think the long version is on the website. I'll find that one and send that to you. And you could see all the goals and objectives that we had when we did it. We pretty much went through a lot of them. We pretty much were successful. And the biggest thing on that strategic plan was really about the buildings. Second was about ensuring that we had the staff in the library. Third was programs and forest collections. We did marketing, but it was really, and that's kind of why the library put most of its money into improving the buildings, because that was what came up over and over and over again in those conversations and in those focus groups, that the buildings looked old and tired and they needed to be updated. And so that really has been, I started in 2021, I guess, and we were already working on getting that first round of the grant, which we didn't get. And then we went for the second. So we have almost been doing going through that plan since 2021, 2022, and here we are 2026. So our building projects have been going on for 5 years.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. And they'll remind me to send you all three of them will remind me to find the long version, and we could send that out to the whole board. They may not have seen it in a long time, because that's not the one that's on the website. There's a shorter version on the website. We'll make sure it goes out to all the board members. I'll find it.
Yeah, I just want to correct for the record, the committee is not going to be involved in the strategic plan. We just spoke about the consultant. The consultant will be working on the strategic plan, and then they will come back to us with whatever the strategic plan is, because I just wanted to be correct for the record.
But they need a group to actually work
Yes.
with them. So
The meeting was only about the
Yeah,
consultant. It was just about going through the proposals and the consultant.
There's another committee that will be created.
Yes.
it's the strategic planning committee would make up of board members, administration, staff, and the public.
Yes.
And I would probably say, end up being three people from each, about 12. Because you know what happens, you call a meeting, and you have a meeting of 12 people and 9 show up.
Right.
So, well, you know it, people are busy. So I think that's kind of a good mix. And then everyone brings their expertise to the table. And I think that was a little, we weren't as strong as we could have been last time in doing that. I think this time we'll try to do that from the beginning a little bit better.
I just want to follow up the strategic plan. So, can you clarify whether that we have the firm has been chosen or not?
So that's what we're going to be discussing.
So
in
because
closed
you mentioned
session.
three.
Closed session.
In closed session, we're going to be discussing that.
Oh,
And
okay.
then we'll
Because over the weekend, I only received the one document from one firm. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Last month, then the 3 total proposals were sent out
Right.
ahead of our May meeting. And then I don't know what we can discuss in open, but that's why
Yeah.
the one was
Yeah.
just sent recently.
And another question is to follow up the statement that you just mentioned about consortium. Let's say if I'm a user, I come to the library and then I try to find a book, and the book is not present at the Edison Library. So how do I know the book will be in our partner library?
It's part of the catalog, which has.
So if you
The
do
whole
a search, you will see this.
Right,
Um,
and, just as any patron, even though you're a patron with a gold card now, or you will have a gold card once we do the new library cards, you'll get a gold library. Did we do gold library cards? You'll get a gold library, we're giving board gold library cards. I'm sorry, but it's like, come on, we're gonna be like everyone else. Board members should get a gold library card. Of course, anything that's even not in the catalog, if it exists and we have an ISBN number, we can always try to get it through Jersey Cat, which reaches out to libraries all over the United States. So we are never limited to just even what is in the 40-member libraries that are here. That Jersey Cat will open up the holdings of most libraries, academic libraries around the country as well. So, and maybe even Wagner and CUNY.
Yeah. So is that mandatory for a Gold Card member to read how many books a month?
Oh, I didn't think about that. I think that's a good idea. A trustees reading club.
One more question. So I did look at some of the documents shared. So it mentioned world language collections, the books, right? So how do we determine which language to prioritize? Do we have any demographic data that helps us to make that decision?
I'll start with the two easy ones. Chinese and Spanish, and we buy both the two kinds of Chinese, simplified and there's two kind of Chinese.
Traditional.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I know them, but it's like traditional. Spanish. Based on the things that we've had in the past, I think we are now buying 6 different South Asian languages. Hindi, Gujarati, Telugu, Kannada, and I think there's 2 Tamil, and there's one more that we get. And those have been based on, and I would say, obviously, some are used in this area, the Gujarati, and the
Urdu, maybe.
we have some more, that's it, or we have some more to do. And I will tell you, believe it or not, it's not easy to get these books, particularly the last year, just in this transportation and the war and the whole, it's just been crazy.
Yeah.
So we have, took us quite a while, it took us almost, with our 2 regular distributors, almost 5 months to get the latest shipments, but they're starting to come in. So we're really, really excited for that. I'm going to say, I'll go back. Sorry, it sounds like a broken record. They're taking books in South Asian languages out in Clara Barton. And 10 years ago, that would be unheard of. Absolutely unheard of. And if there's one we're missing, just let us know. But those pretty much, this is also our 2 distributors we work with have told us that for them too, that's the most popular. And it's also, as you know, based on what state people were from, is more likely to be the language that they're going to read in. And we also do bilingual books for children in some of those languages. Mostly they're Gujarati or Hindi. Those are the 2 that we're able to get the bilingual books. We can get Spanish bilingual books. We can get Chinese bilingual books easy. But it's the South Asian bilingual books. But every time we go to a conference, we find someone, a small little publisher, a small little bookstore that exhibits, and we try to talk to them and see whether we can start working with them. Chinese and Spanish are much, much easier for us to deal with. And if anyone's looking to ever open or something, there are a couple of the traditional grocery stores that we used to actually go directly and buy DVDs from in the neighborhood here. But they never really had books. There's only one South Asian bookstore I can find and doing any kind of search that I looked, and they're in British Columbia, believe it or not. Why there isn't any in Toronto or London or New York, I don't understand. But we're continuing to learn. And one of the goals that we have for this year is to start to translate some of our things that we do, our brochures, our flyers in languages other than English, and do more programs in languages other than English to attract people who are recent arrivals in Edison and would look for programs in their native language. So if you know any great sources for us, I will tell you, we did have a big influx. We had a big, I would say, donation drive. What happened was, you may not have been involved, but I guess it was in 2022, 2023, when we worked with Gopio, and they had the Consul General of India come here to the library. Gopio organized a kind of a book drive for us, and they got donations from their members who were living in Edison to donate books, and that was really great as well. And I know Councilman Patil had donated sets of new books that we have in all the branches. So yeah, so if you know someone who's looking to do that, we'd be more than happy to work with them.
Okay.
Great. Anybody else? Last call?
Can I just make a quick comment?
Yes.
We've been talking about the strategic plan quite a bit, and I know most members were not involved in the previous round. But I just want to say that, to Alan's point earlier, the previous round was really focused on the infrastructure and the programming. And I just want to say, kudos to everyone, because we really hit those goals. You guys, with the infrastructure, the improvements that have been done to the facilities, I mean, that's clear, that's apparent, that's visible. But I think it's also, if we go back 3 years, I think it's important for us to remember that, the programming was good. Everyone liked the programming, but we just wanted to take it, to the next level of expanding it, making it more culturally relevant, reaching different age groups. I know a lot of that was finding new staff, for teens or seniors or whatever the group may be. And I think that was an important first step of getting people into the libraries, like we said. We want to make them improved. We want to encourage people to come here. So I just wanted to reflect on that, because I know that, there's been a lot of changes, and that we really have met the goals of our strategic plan. And I think circulation is a good next step, because our buildings and our programming are so strong.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right, anybody else?
One final quick question.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Yes.
Because we just discussed the language program.
Yes.
And since Edison has a great population of immigrants, I wonder whether our library also has similar program, like a Metuchen library, to have language program that to offer, for example, the evening English class, that kind of program
So we have,
for the new arrival here.
I'm going to say we have a much bigger program than Metuchen. So we have programs now, 5 days a week between Lorna and Corinne?
Yeah, correct. Daytime and evening.
Daytime and evening. Yeah, they're all filled to the brim. And you're welcome to come and, board members are always welcome to come to a program and to see how things are. We have 2 great teachers. They both teach differently, and their styles are different. But I would say the evening class that Corinne does, she's getting more young professionals who are working during the day, and they can't come they can't come during the day. So she does more on the nights and the weekends. In fact, we can get you one of the brochures, so we have to update it. And Lorna's doing things now 4 days a week, 3 days a week, 4 days a week, and her classes are always packed. In fact, we had to move things around. She was doing things in the conference room, and usually she was getting 20, 25 people for a session. So we ended up moving her in here to have more space. So we are an immigrant community for sure, which is why a lot of our programming that we're doing has to be focused for, I'll just say newcomers to Edison. We think we've got we probably would look for one more person who can do computer technology in languages other than English. That's our next goal. If we find someone who happens to come for another position, that's what we need at this point. We have some older South Asian men and women who will work with SJ one-on-one for some immediate help on their computer needs. But I think there's a lot more people out there who could benefit if we were able to do computer training in languages other than English. We had applied for a grant from the state. We didn't get it, but I think that grant is still valuable for us to see if we can find some other funding or even just find someone who could do that. Definitely either in Chinese, Spanish, or one of the South Asian languages. We would definitely benefit from that. So if you know anyone who might be able to fit that bill and would like to work part-time and do computer training for us, that would be great. That would complement what Corinne and Lorna are doing.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. Go to closed session. Mr. Clement?
Whereas the Open Public Meetings Act, NJSA 10:4-6 et seq. Permits a public body to exclude the public from meetings or portions thereof, wherein matters to be discussed are exempted from the requirement of the act, and be it further resolved that the minutes of the executive closed session shall be made available to the public after official action on the subject matter has been taken. The subject for this is personnel and contract negotiations.
Right, can I have a motion, please?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Ms. Gabati,
Yes.
Ms. Leary,
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel,
Yes.
Dr. Shen,
Yes.
Ms. Singh,
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale.
Yes.
Motion carries.
Okay. There will be action after the closed session. So,
You like me, Joe. Thank you.
Gotcha, I know, yes.
Okay, we're back into session, and we do have two resolutions that Mr. Kleiman is going to read. Okay, the first is accepting the resignation of employee 293503, whereas employee number 293503 has submitted his resignation from his position as library assistant with the Edison Public Library effective June 4th, 2026. And be it further resolved that the Board of Trustees extends its appreciation to employee 293503 for his service to the Edison Public Library and wishes him success in his future endeavors. Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please. Ms. Kabadi?
Yes.
Ms. Leary?
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel?
Yes.
Dr. Shen?
Yes.
Ms. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale?
Yes.
Motion carries. Second resolution. Resolution authorizing professional services agreement for strategic planning consulting services. Whereas the Board of Trustees of the Edison Public Library determined that it was in the best interest of the library to engage a qualified consultant to facilitate the development of a new strategic plan for the Edison Public Library. And whereas the library solicited proposals from a number of qualified firms and individuals to provide such professional consulting services. And whereas the library received 3 proposals in response to its solicitation. And whereas the designated review committee carefully evaluated all proposals submitted and determined that constructive disruption, represented by Ms. Stephanie Chase, possessed the qualifications, experience, and approach that best meets the library needs and objectives. Whereas the library director conducted reference checks and received highly favorable recommendations regarding Ms. Chase's professional performance and qualifications. Whereas the Board of Trustees desires to retain Ms. Stephanie Chase of constructive disruption. So there's a word missing. To provide strategic planning consulting services in accordance with the proposal submitted to the library. Now therefore be resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Edison Public Library, that the board hereby authorizes the engagement of Ms. Stephanie Chase on behalf of Constructive Disruption to provide professional consulting services for the development of a strategic plan for the Edison Public Library. 2, the library director is authorized to execute a professional services agreement with Ms. Chase, Constructive Disruption, subject to be prepared by the library's legal counsel. 3, the compensation for such services shall be in the amount not to exceed $32,800, consistent with the submitted proposal and any approved contract terms. 4, the term of this agreement shall commence on July 1, 2026, and continue through the completion of the services as set forth in the agreement. The library director is authorized to take all necessary actions to implement this resolution and to administer the agreement. Okay, can I have a motion?
Motion.
Have a second?
Second.
Roll call, please. Ms. Kabadi?
Yes.
Ms. Leary?
Yes.
Ms. Shivanti Patel?
Yes.
Dr. Shen?
Yes.
Ms. Singh?
Yes.
Mr. Di Pasquale? Yes. Motion carries. Okay. Do we have any announcements? Does anybody have announcements of any events or anything coming up? Okay. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion.
Can I have a second? Everybody?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.